Hey friends, it's me, the Empress of Sovereignty, and thanks for being here with me as I go on this journey to 150. All right, I just probably gonna start from the beginning and which started in March 2026. Um, and I started with Effecti with the Terzepitide GLP1. Um, I kind of been keeping track of my activity on like a calendar, like one of a big giant like construction calendar, and it's like the slash marks you'll see, or how many times I jumped on my trampoline. I wrote, you probably won't be able to see it, but I did wrote my shot days. I got a T for my shot days. And like if I took a walk, I'll write walk on there. Or if I hit 10K steps, I'll write 10K steps on there. It just kind of helps me stay accountable with actually um staying moving. I've been working on my food and eating all this time, and I guess over the last 3 years I really feel like I nailed down my food. Then I started getting my activity up. Then the third year is combining the two. So and I will get my walks in, but then I'll be out, I have a walk, and then not walk for like another 3 or 4 days. And if you're not keeping track of it, then you might not be getting enough activity. And so I just decided at the beginning of this journey I was gonna keep track of it. And I started on March the 2nd. Well, actually, no, I started March 4th. That was the first Wednesday. I got my Terzepitide on March 2nd. And I held it for 2 days. But I went ahead and got started. And I also ordered a mini trampoline from Amazon. And I made sure that was my activity. The trampoline and walking pretty much is my activity. I am not like in any sports. I plan on strength training and lifting a little bit more than what I'm lifting now, my 5 and 10 pound hand weights. But I'm not interested in like heavy working, all that 75 hard. And I sweat and stuff, but I don't really want to like have a lot of exertion and work too hard. I'm over 40, so I'm not trying to work too hard. And I do understand that something that did used to work for me in my 30s, fasting and just like not eating as much and really low calorie. Once you get over 40, that does not feel good to you, and it's definitely not gonna help you lose weight, and it's definitely not gonna help you get stronger. So once you're over 40, you're just gonna have to switch over to protein. And that was hard for me because I was not a big meat eater um in the first place. I'm not a fried chicken person. I eat my chicken in the oven. I eat salmon now. I just started eating steak this year. When I started this journey, I was not a steak. You would not be catching me eating a steak. So I changed myself. I even was okay. So when I first started getting steak, I was eating them well done. And I wanted well done. I wanted cooked. But then like every place I was ordering, I would go to it'd be from Applebee's to an expensive steakhouse. And if you say well done, it is burnt. And then I was like, okay, so well done, they are looking to char it, and I don't like that burnt taste. So it took me like a month or two to realize that I need to try my steak medium well. And it was so juicy and it was so good. So I've been eating steak and making sure I get my protein in. like I said, my eating is good. I just kind of wanted to just like run through how the first month went. Okay, so I started at 248.4. Like I said, first shot on March the 4th. I did about 4 jumps on the trampoline per week average. Like one week I had like jumped 6 times in a week. And then most weeks I end up with like 3 times a week jumping on a trampoline, and then maybe a walk because it was still cold where I am in March. So not that many walks until like the end of March. I'm noticing where I'm seeing like, park, going to the park and stuff. But anyway, first week. So from March 4th to the 11th. I don't know if the calendar helps or not. It helps me, but y'all can let me know if y'all need to see the calendar. But March 4th to 11th, that March 4th Wednesday to March 11th Wednesday, I went from 248.4 to 245.3. So I lost exactly about 3 pounds in the first 7 days. 3 pounds. Boom. I'm like, okay. And, they're going to say it's water the first couple of pounds. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I shouldn't have, that's fine with me. So the next week, the 3rd week of March, I lost 1 pound. And then the last week of March, the 25th, I ended the month at 240.8 pounds. So that is a total of loss of, let me see. I'm going to have to make sure I edit this part out. So total pounds lost for the month, it was 7.2. And that's kind of, I won't say, but 7.2 pounds for the month. I wanted 10 pounds a month, but 10 pounds a month is kind of aggressive, and because if you're losing 1 to 3 pounds a week, that's pretty slow and steady, so your skin won't get so saggy and stretchy, and it'll have time to bounce back. So I was happy I ended the month at 240.8, and like I said, overall weight loss of almost 8 pounds. So the first month went well. That first shot, okay, the needle is really thin and short. Like you can barely even see it. Like when you hold it up, I don't have one next to me, but it's so thin. And I realized, I thought I didn't like needles, but I don't like getting my blood drawn. That's different. They filling up caps of your blood and nothing. No. This little thing, you just decide where you want to use your injection site. I know some people will do their arms, some people do their thighs. My injection site I choose is the right or left side of my stomach, and then I think they have upper and lower, but I feel like upper is the less pain. When you start getting lower, it seems like it hurt a little bit more when I go lower. So I've been going alternating right and left side. So like pretty painless, poke it in. The hard part is the actual injection and like pushing the plunger. That's the part I hated. But I started out on 2.5, went fine. No side effects, none to speak of. The first day you don't really feel anything. Second day, and then your appetite start going away. And I noticed that I was not hungry. I started not getting hungry. And then I had like a little bit of headache when I first started, but like not enough to like make me stop or anything like that. It was only the first month, so I had like I said, a little bit of headache, and that's really it. The injection site is a little, it don't bleed, it don't nothing. You just it's not bad at all. And for me to not be a needle person, for me to be saying that, Is worth the progress that I have made. That little bit, that don't let that little bitty needle be the thing that stop you. Okay. Um. So yeah, not really any symptoms. My appetite started getting suppressed, and then I was like, okay, I gotta make myself eat still. Like I knew something was different because okay, I pick up my daughter from school at like 3, 4 o'clock, and sometimes we go to the park after school, and most of the time we go stay till like 4 or 5 o'clock. I try to get her to stay till like 5, 6 o'clock, and we end up leaving at like 7 o'clock. Well, this particular time, usually when I'm there, by the time 7 o'clock roll around, I'm starving because I intermittent fast. So from midnight the night before until noon, that's 12 hours, and I usually go like 1 or 2 more hours, and then I start eating for the day. I skip breakfast. So by the time 3 o'clock, before I leave, I have a snack or a protein shake before I go pick her up, and then by the time if I start getting 6, 7 o'clock, I'll get hungry. So I used to be at the park starving with her, like, oh baby, can we go home? I'm so hungry. But I was like, I'm cool. Like it's 6 o'clock and my stomach ain't growling. I ain't like thinking about food. Like so like the food noise really started calming down because I would have been like counting down, like looking at my watch, like, oh, can we please leave? What we gonna eat? When we gonna eat? What time? That's how my mind used to be racing when I think back. Like thinking about what we gonna eat and planning food and this and this and this. So I didn't have any of that. And then once you get started, so we know that these peptides and all these slow down your digestive system. So that digestive system slows all the way down, baby. So I mean, you'll be full for hours, but you have to get your protein in order for the medicine to work, which I did not know. If that's something that I didn't find out that late. I found out like 2 months in that because I had stalled only for like 1 week. I lost 1 week, and then the next week I was the same weight. I was like up, and then I started like researching again, like what's going on after the first month or the second month, and it was because I wasn't getting enough protein in. So I feel like I was eating a good amount, but I needed an extra boost. So that's when I started doing the protein shakes, and that really helped me hit my protein goals. So yeah, like really like a little bit of constipation because the digestive system slowing down. But I have a tea that I drink, triple leaf tea, triple leaf slim tea off of Amazon. So if anybody want to try that, I highly recommend it. But that is, you know, consult your doctor. I'm just that's just something I use to help with the constipation. I've been drinking that tea for years. It's something I used to stay regular before um getting on Terzepitide. So highly recommend getting you something to help you stay regular. And some Tylenol leave for a little headaches. They say you get like sleepy and fatigued on the first day of your shot, and you do probably want to rest on the day of your shot and take it a little bit easier. But I mean, like, you don't like crash out or nothing like that. So I feel like the first month went really well, eating well, meal prepping, and I hate meal prepping. Just to be clear, I that's what held me back a lot of previous times, is because I did not want to I was one of them people that was like, I don't want to eat the same thing every day, honey. That is the way to success, we realize. And y'all know everybody been saying it. You got to eat the same thing every day and just like stay on a routine and just eat it. No, you got your protein and just do it for days, weeks, months, years in a row until you get to where you're trying to get. So we just gonna go at it, like that. Slow and steady wins the race. And my first month went well. almost 8 pounds down. So let me know how y'all's first month went, and we will be back with the second month of April results on the next video. Thanks for stopping to see me, the Empress of Sovereignty. We'll see you next time.